Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Cleburne. I'm very happy that you're here with me today. It's going to be windy again. We've got some storms in the area, so hopefully not too distracting. You might hear my wind chimes in the background. But I've been decorating with stone today. I've been getting stoned, so I wanted to share that with you. So the other day, I changed this fence a little bit. And this is like my husband's thing. He likes signs. So he also likes vintage stuff, so do I. So we've been having these wagon wheels, excuse me, for a long time. And they keep getting moved from spot to spot. But I think I kind of like them here, so we're gonna leave them here. And I also, before I move on, I wanted to show you all my arbor and how beautiful the clematis is right now. So this clematis is, I want to say 4 years old. She's been in this spot. And she started out in a lot more shade than what she has now. So she's getting more sun now these last couple of years since we've been slowly removing the trees. And she's getting more sun, and therefore I'm getting more blooms. And I think I showed her last year too, but she's just so beautiful. And this is Clematis the Vagabond. She's in this deep purple color with this beautiful cream colored center. And she gets about 4 feet tall by, it's supposed to be 2 feet wide, but she gets a little wider than that. She really likes this spot now. And she'll go about yay high to the trellis here, to this little arch. So I decided she needs some friends. She needs some company. So I went out and got a red clematis, and I'm putting that on that side. So before I show that clematis, I'm going to bring you back over here and show you what I did with these stones. I thought it looked kind of pretty. So Walmart had these cute little hostas for sale. For I believe they were $4.97. So $5 times 3 hostas. That looks like a royal standard. That's probably an earth angel, I would think. I'm not sure. That one looks Earth Angel, that looks Royal Standard. And I'm not sure if that's another Earth Angel or not, but irregardless, they're $4.97 before tax, so about $5. And then I decided to decorate under them with this pretty pea gravel. I thought it came out really pretty against the hosta. I love this color against this green. I just think it's so pretty, and it really makes those hostas stand out. The pea gravel, this took 2 bags at roughly $5 a bag. So $5, $10, $15, and $10 worth of pea gravel. It's not bad. $25, and I think it made a great improvement. And then the rocks that I went around and found are just field rocks. These were just in my yard. So, and they just kind of been sitting in one spot until I found something to do with them, and I thought that they looked really good here. All right, let me take you over and show you that beautiful clematis that I chose as a companion for my Clematis the Vagabond. Quickly though, we're supposed to get 70-mile-an-hour winds this afternoon, or later on this afternoon. So hopefully my peonies don't get tore up, but in case they do, I want to show how beautiful they are this year before they get any wind damage. And I'm pretty sure that these, if we don't get any storm damage, they're so close to popping for me. I can't wait. And I'll give you an update on those very soon, provided we don't get a lot of storm damage. So this afternoon we went to a place called Silkwood Blooms. It's up on Northeast Highway 13, just outside of Lowry City, Missouri. And I really like, it's a place called Four Phillies, and I love going up there. They have a really good coffee shop, they have a vintage shop, they have a mercantile shop, and they have a greenhouse. There's 4 ladies, 4 different businesses, 4 Phillies. So I've been waiting and waiting for her to get her perennials in, and now is the time. So we went up today and I got my clematis vines. Let me show you what I got. This is going to be that color. Isn't that beautiful? It's a hummingbird attractant. Beautiful. It's called Madame Julia Coravon, and it gets between 10 and 12 feet tall. So this should go to the top of that arbor. and just about touch the other clematis. So red and purple will almost meet. Isn't that going to be lovely? Oh, I can't wait. Not sure how wide it's going to get, but it has that fence right next to it, a really tall fence that it can also climb on. But I'm really hoping to train it to go up the arbor. And again, that's called Madame Julia Coravon. It was $6. So her 4-inch pots are $6. Okay, and before I move on, I'm going to show you what else I got up there. Y'all know I'm doing a rental cabin, right? So my carpenter is down there working today. He's trying to finish up the deck. And so I don't want to put these flowers in right now. I don't want these in his way. So when he's all done, I'll go down and put these flowers right in front of the cabin. Now y'all know I'm trying to do something that makes you feel like it's your, like home away from home while you're camping. I want it to feel like your place. What is more welcoming? Sorry about that, my dog was being bad. Not my dog, my husband's dog. My dog is good. His dog is bad. Bad influence. Anyway, what is more welcoming than a happy, joyful daisy? Yeah, you just look at these and you feel happy. I mean, look at that. Do you not feel happier now just looking at that? I know you do. Okay, so I got 3 of those, and I thought, oh, they'd be so pretty mixed in with this beautiful, deep purple salvia. So again, these were $6 each for these 4-inch plants. This one's called Midnight Purple, Meadow Sage Salvia, and says that it will attract butterflies, full sun, and will get 12 inches tall. This was new as of 2024. And then back to the daisy. The daisy is White Breeze. It's a Shasta daisy. Again, it attracts butterflies. It's beautiful in rock gardens, so I don't know. Another couple of rocks might find their way into that garden. And these get, well, can't get used to the tags being this way. I'm old-fashioned. 10 to 12 inches. And they grow in zones 3 to 8. So she told me that if I plant them directly in the ground, they have a much better chance of coming back for me over and over than if I were to put them in a planter. So we're going to put them in the ground right at the front of the cabin. Then I'll take you down and show you my new Zen garden. Before I forget to mention it, this Clematis the Vagabond, this will get a second flush of blooms later on in the summer. So after these fade out, they leave these cute little spidery looking things on them that are sort of shrunken and green, and then it'll be quiet, and then in a little while in the heat of summer, we'll get a second flush from this. I'm really hoping that this whole arch gets covered with clematis. Oh, I'm excited. So this spot is in the furthest southeast corner of the rental spot. And what I decided to do, I wanted to do one of those actual Zen gardens with the sand and the rake and all of that. However, I was finding out that trying to get the good, clean masonry sand in this area is extremely difficult, especially if you just want a small amount. So I kind of gave up on that. And I decided instead to just create a space where you could just sit and become one with the forest. So I still have some work to do. So all I've done so far is just weed whack to the ground. And then because it slopes back this way and this way, I'm gonna have to put 1x2s across here and back there so that when we get those really heavy rains, my pea gravel won't wash on down into the forest. I'm doing the same color pea gravel, and this, I forgot what it said it covers, but 4 to 6 feet by 1 inch per bag. at $5 a bag. So right now, I bought all they had. They only had 5 bags at the hardware store in my town. So I'll probably have to go back and get 1 to 2 more bags. But that's still, I think that's pretty reasonable. And then the little table will be painted heirloom white around the rim and the legs, as well as the planter will also be painted heirloom white. I didn't really want blue stars or blue chairs with stars in them. It doesn't really go with our theme. However, my only choices for this price and this comfort, my only choices of color for this price and this comfort was red or blue. So, you know, it was what it was. I'd have much rather had tan or green or even brown, but we got what we got. Blue is a nice color. Blue is a really nice color. So it's sort of pleasing. Then we used the tractor. I did not carry those down. I did move them, but I didn't carry them. So we put them in the bucket of the tractor, the stones. Those are the original foundation stones, or these are the foundation stones for the original house that was on this property. And the property itself has been abandoned for well over 50 years. So I don't know, maybe 80 years ago, these stones were used as foundation. And I thought, man, that's a nice way to honor the old house, is to add the stones for the beautiful, wonderful energies and vibes of grounding. And the original owners of the property, I've always tried to do whatever I could to honor them. And then we're going to put some footlights over here so you don't be tripping on lights at night. And then I'm not going to leave this sitting here because we're expecting this storm, but I bought that fern. So let me give you the overall effect. The fern I also got at that same nursery today, and hers were only 25. We're right up the road from me. Hers are 29. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. $4 cheaper. And I don't know, I just think it gives it a nice touch back here. So you'll just have to use your imagination with the table and the planter painted heirloom white and the pea gravel on the ground. And blue with stars. Not my first choice. Just because, you know, I've never been a big fan of Americana decor, whatever you call it. I've just never been a fan of that. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's what I have, so we're going to make it work. But Shaggy and I came down here this morning, and we had our coffee down here, and you really do feel like you become one with the forest when you're sitting here having your coffee. So that is what I decided to do instead of a sand garden. As far as having a little Zen sand garden, this beautiful deck is going to have beautiful furniture on it. And we're going to put one of those mini Zen gardens that you can just sit on your table and just have a little mini rake and just rake the sand that way. All right, I'm going to go over and check and see how the deck is coming along. And I am wishing you all to have a very lovely evening and hopefully no storms coming your way. Much love and light. Many blessings. As a little bonus, I thought I would show my carpenter just jetted out of here because the storms are approaching. He wants to get home, but I thought I would show what he's done. So I'm not sure if you remember this from before, if I even showed it, but the deck abruptly quit over there. It was sagging. When it was built by somebody who threw it together in one afternoon. It had no braces underneath it, no blocks, no nothing, so it was sagging. It was terrible. It wasn't lined up, certainly wasn't squared. And he came and fixed all that. So he figured out how to fix a 4-inch issue by fudging the little cracks here a little bit. So he's not finished. He'll be back on Monday, but it's cute. I've got to do something about this spot, but look how big. That's a big deck. Now we're going to paint it the same color as that porch. So it's just like one big wraparound deck. And then he put me some temporary steps here. Then I'll do more hostas probably down there. The nice thing about this deck, and I have to finish a planter here, but we're putting in herbs all the way around for our guests No, the lights aren't staying. They're on the chopping block. We're putting in herbs that they can pick themselves. So when you get up in the morning, if you want to go straight outside and have your coffee, now you can. Isn't that cute? That's going to be so pretty. We're just painting the floor the same color as the porch, the same color as the deck, the railing, everything will be painted. And then the patio furniture will match this. The umbrella is a dark charcoal gray. The curtains will be blackout curtains, also in that same dark charcoal gray. And the cushions on the patio furniture will also be charcoal gray. Then I'll have the little Zen garden right here on the table. And then you can see now, way over there is where my little Zen spot is. So there will be 3 places to hang out down here. The deck with all the furniture, the little Zen corner, and then there is a fire pit right around that way with a contained, actual up off the ground fire pit. All right, for real this time, love and light.